Test. Had to represent the 2 Titans and two
Okay.
Warlocks up top, 2 Titans down here. So
I got backup. I got Warlock with me right now. I'm good. I'm good. It's very studious right now.
He's a Warlock, so is it really backup?
Like we got a lot of intelligence in the room. I like
oh yeah,
this
you guys
right.
both have glasses.
Right.
We are
I'll be
both without
crazy now.
glasses
That's
today.
true.
This is
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's not really backup when it's a Warlock, more just like somebody to respawn you inevitably. But
You need that
you
well.
Fair. You do. You need it.
you need that.
You
well.
need that well.
But yeah,
even
the
more
one that
since the Titan
heals
bubble
and,
just got-
and gives you buff.
Yeah, and that
Highest
Titan
team
bubble just got
recharge.
knocked down a
Highest team
peg too.
recharge.
I'm actually like happy to see. Like I was listening to you on Firing Range, and you were talking about that.
Sure.
You were like the only one who seemed to have
Yeah.
a question
Yeah.
about the Titan bubble, and I'm going,
Yeah.
how is nobody picking up what he is putting down right
nobody's
now?
commenting. I'm like, really? That's like no one's gonna comment. I'm like, that just seems like the Warlock is the play now.
Yeah, it's
Kevin's
like
like,
the best
no,
play.
no. Like,
It's the best
like-
play. Yeah.
yeah.
He does everything, and you can shoot through it. I don't understand.
Yeah, like you can
Just
stand
stop.
there. Only thing you can't do maybe is get sniped in a GM, but even then, probably. All right, you guys can start your recordings here if you want to get in like 5-second countdown.
Sure.
4, 3, 2, 1, click it. All right,
Have click.
couple minutes early is actually nice to make sure. How's everybody sounding, by the way? Granddad Gaming, man, thank you very much. We rated
what's
him
up?
earlier, so we got him coming on in March.
Blah. Audio check. Audio check.
Audio words.
Yeah. Mic check. Audio. Trav, you muted.
Audio. Sorry, I sneezed at the perfect
Rude.
time.
You good.
Audio. How's it sound? It's loud.
Mm-hmm.
We got you. Good levels though. You peaked real hard. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Did I actually?
No, not at all.
My gain was turned all the way up on accident. So hopefully that
Yeah,
fixed.
you gonna try that? Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see where you are. Turn it up some. You were
my
maybe
gain.
yeah, up some.
There you go. How's that?
Sounds pretty good. Cog,
Okay.
give me a wah.
Yo.
You're good. Turn you.
Code name Ebontis at checkout.
Paula's got his sitting behind him. I can see it over there.
This
Hey, yo, we got to
Do you have it in
baby. We got to
purple?
get the bag.
Uh-huh. Only one person got it in purple, so shh.
Back for that. What up?
She had to
Nice.
marry you to get it.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a big ask. All right, we'll go silence on the set. Looks like the top of Travis is above the green. Oh, I'll trim his head off. There we go. Cool.
Cut his head off. Cut his head off.
Looks good. Cut his head off. Good. Yeah, just cut his head clean off. It's fine.
Who? Mine? My head?
Yeah.
Cut my head?
Yep. All right. Silence on the set. We'll get the show rolling in 5, 4, 3.
All right. And we are live. The last word with LordCognito, Ebontis, and Ty Guy Travis. Fresh on that Witch Queen Eve, I would say. We're close. We're close. But E, let's start with you, man. What's going on with you, brother?
You talking to me?
Oh, the E.
Yo, me. I
I was
thought you
gonna say
said.
there
I
was,
thought you said
there was so much
Travis.
quiet. And I was like,
No, yeah. I thought it was
damn,
Travis.
he's waiting for someone to talk.
No,
Somebody
I
must
am-
have talked to
no,
me.
no, no.
The suspense
No,
of this
we'll get
issue.
ya.
Yes, first.
Damn it.
No,
Ebontis.
for me, I've like checked basically every box for Witch Queen prep, like 186 bounties, just kind of everything done. Last thing I need to do is just kind of tidy up a couple things, and I just want to like set it down over the weekend and not think about Destiny before Tuesday, which is going to be absolutely crazy. So, Travis, what about you? You got another game that you can throw under all the bus tires?
I do not. I do not. Thankfully, I hopefully that's the worst review I have to write this year. But yeah, as you guys know, I've been on a content tirade at IGN, just doing. I think I did like 6 reviews and a bunch of previews and working on wikis, and I'm basically all wrapped up with all of my IGN work until the Witch Queen. So now it's all just prep, and then I'm doing that review. Man, I'm gonna be on Destiny for like 11 days straight, or however long it takes for me to get the raid done, and then write it up. So it's gonna be a sprint, and I'm so excited for it, guys. I'm actually hyped for the first time in a long time for a Destiny DLC, because usually I'm like so close to it I can't really be hyped. Like Beyond Light, just like I felt like I knew what that DLC was before it even came out, and I was right. But I feel like Witch Queen, I kind of don't know. I feel like I know less. I have a reason to be excited.
Oh,
So.
Nice.
What about you, Cog? What do you got? What have you been doing?
I'm ready, man. I've been in prep mode, just been kind of raiding a little bit, just getting spoils up, trying to knock out Taraba, the last thing that I need to get done. But bounties prepped, Iron Banner will get done. I am ready, man. It's that time. This is the season. You know what we do now. So, but E, we've been procrastinating.
I know,
We
I
got
know.
some special royalty that we need to introduce, E. So bring them in, man.
All
Get outta
right,
here.
so full intro. Here we go. What up, you nerds? Welcome to
Oh,
the
boy.
Last Word, episode number 185. Season of the Lost tripped its way over the finish line, but Witch Queen hype train is truly running at full speed. Many hours of sleep will be lost. Server queue numbers will see new highs, and blueberries will be as clueless as ever. But it's safe to say many of us are excited. And we couldn't have asked for a better guest on this near eve of this epic launch. This man has been breaking down shooter mechanics since you've been in diapers, and the game of choice that started his love of shooters, none other than Halo. Halo holds a special place in this man's heart. Not only because this started his YouTube career, please go watch that first video, but he also met his wife because of it. So to say it is life-changing is actually not an overstatement. The real reason many of you know our guest, though, is likely because of his ability to discuss any topic with all players, from cone angle enthusiasts to Johnny Dayjob Two Thumbs. He is sure to have you rolling on the floor laughing from the memes, jokes, and one-liners in each of his videos. It takes true talent to be able to talk about the exact effective range of shotguns as measured by Darcy in a way that makes you feel both informed and entertained, yet confused and sad inside. He is a true unicorn in this community and can truly shift the Destiny meta, both in-game and in content creation, with just one video. So let's welcome our resident Destiny memologist, a man who understands how your vault could be 525 out of 500 after a vault cleaning, owner of a PHB. I said PHB, that's a pretty huge barrel. Spends an hour to put together a 60-second
Ow.
tentacle face just to nail that one bit. Will punish himself for 50 games in a row, unless he dies to Shatter Dive, of course, and embraces all things Warlock, floating his way to the finish line. He is a man who sits evenly on both butt cheeks because his Ridge wallet has no bulge. He has trimmed Lord Shack's junk and lived to tell the tale, and even
Manscaped.
knows always that there is plenty of money in the banana stand. Has some fine knife skills in the kitchen, knows it's waffles over pancakes, and knows when frying to always lay away. Host of the Firing Range podcast for all things Crucible Science, and I have no doubt will own that elusive gold play button on YouTube. So go subscribe to his channel if somehow you aren't already, you jabronis. The official hype train conductor who is sitting in front of his whiteboard of sound foam and in his chair that needs to be replaced with his Raid Shadow Legends money, the one, the only Fallout Plays, man. How are you doing?
Holy shit! Time out for a minute. That was
Put your goddamn
You
hands
know-
together.
wow. I gotta tell you, boys, I've been on a lot of podcasts in my day. Y'all did your homework. That was probably the best intro I've ever gotten ever.
E. Killed that.
That's
How long did that? I mean, I did like, man, you went deep. You went so deep, so much deeper than I thought you would have gone.
It's because of that
Yeah,
huge
wow.
barrel.
You went into the Ridge Wallet promo, and that's just wild. Well, thank you very much for having me on the show. Thrilled to be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, been a long time coming. Long time coming for
Long
sure.
time coming, brother.
Speaking of his chair, Ebontis, I think we have the same chair.
Oh,
Who, you and him?
Look at
yeah,
our
that
chairs.
looks very similar. Very similar.
Maybe, yeah. Lean over there.
Maybe.
Show me that chair. Yeah, I'm off the gaming chair train. I'm on the office chair now.
Okay.
The office
That's
chair.
what I have. It's
Yeah,
an office
yeah,
chair.
Office chair. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
gaming
ergonomics
chair
all the
was
way.
like-
Ergonomics
Gaming
all
chair
the way.
was like was making my back was getting a little stiff. I know it's like the oldest thing I could say. Oh, my back was mad stiff, but like I don't know, just in time. I've heard from many people you got to go for the office chair, so I went for the office chair. I'm liking it.
No doubt,
Soft,
no doubt.
cushy.
We got the Crucible scientists in the campfire today, so it's good. Well, I was gonna ask you this. Obviously the name, right?
Sure.
When I came across your content, this was like D1 early, and I had a lot of Bethesda guys like mad at you. They were like, "How dare he have
sure.
that name?" And he's a
funny.
Destiny guy. So can you just explain to those people, how you stuck with it?
Sure. Yeah, it's funny if people hear the word Fallout and then it's like, people out there, that the word Fallout is also like, it's just a word, right? It doesn't only have to be tied to the game franchise. These words can have multiple meanings. It's a fun fact. Something you should know. But yeah, way back in the day when I was trying to come up with a new gamer tag or whatever, pre-YouTube days, I was just thinking of all my favorite, like you mentioned in the intro, love Halo.
Yes.
I used to be really into like MLG tournament level Halo. And like all my favorite pro players all had like short, badass one-word names, right? And it was like Ogre, Walshy, Neighbor, Pistola, Toxic. They all had cool like one-word names. And I was like, I need like a cool one-word name. I was just thinking. I was like, remember back in the day when you had like a CD tower of all the games that you had or whatever? Just like old school gamer shit. Like, so I was looking around for like inspiration. You got the CD tower back there or whatever. I'm like, oh, Fallout. Like, this is before Fallout 3. So back then, before Fallout 3, it was kind of like, it was a little different, not as popular. And it was like, oh, those were cool memories. Those were like, I used to play the game with my buddy back in the day. Good gaming memories. It's a short, cool, one-word name. I was like, bam, I'm gonna be Fallout. And that was like my Halo gamer tag. And then when I wanted to make a YouTube channel, I was like, well, what do I make it? And that was back when all the rage was like the Let's Plays were all really popular. So everyone was like, oh, there was really common to see YouTube channel names like, oh, so and so plays. I was like, Fallout plays perfect.
There you go.
Now, if I could go back in time and take a different YouTube name, if I could find a way, I would change my YouTube channel name because it's fine now, but it was just really annoying for a while when people came like, oh, why is your name that? I was like, forget it already. It's too long to explain. Don't worry about it.
Caught that. I was going right there. Now, salute. Had to do that there. Open it up for the fellas because I know we got time is limited, so we want to get some questions in. Trav.
Yeah, my question is with the Witch Queen right around the corner and us all thinking about, whether it's going to revolutionize the world of Destiny or kind of be more of the same, I think is a lot of what the people who play a lot of Destiny are thinking. I was wondering, and this is coming from somebody who has to review it, what do you think could make Destiny, could make the Witch Queen a huge success? Like, what specifically do you think that they have to do to make it just get above the threshold of like, the sevens that I gave a 7 to Shadowkeep and to Beyond Light, and I stand by those, right? Like, what does it have to do to get past that threshold into greatness? And what are some things it could do that you think would kind of confine it to mediocrity or even make it like a failure? Like,
that's a really good question. I mean, part of the thing is that everybody's individual review of Witch Queen is going to be slightly different, right? It's like maybe if you're huge into Gambit, you might rate Witch Queen much higher because they just put out their little bullet plan to kind of reinvigorate Gambit. But for me, if they had like a killer raid, I think the weapon crafting system is going to be huge because that's something we haven't really ever had in Destiny before. We had weapon reforging. Y'all remember back in D1 when they little weapon reforging there, which was great for what it was. But now they're going really in depth with being able to recraft, reforge weapons. I think if they really nail that, then that would be a huge leg up in my book. Because I think we all love the thrill of getting a god roll, but nobody wants to go through when there's a really cool Gambit weapon, which is rare, but you have bottom dollar hand cannon or something that's you just have to get lucky.
65,000 options later.
Yeah, good God. You have to play 20 games of Gambit to even get the freaking thing to drop. And then when it does drop, it's got 12 unique perks in column 3, 4. It's what are the mathematical odds that you're going to get a roll that you're kind of maybe happy with? So crushing the weapon crafting system would be huge. I don't know about y'all, but I've heard a lot of... I think I'm going to make a free-to-play account to maybe better understand the New Light experience. I've heard that the New Light experience is really bad right now. They just don't explain a lot. So I think if Bungie does more to help the new players, the numbers will be better, which I think will make for a healthier game experience overall. And yeah, I think those are some steps in the right direction. And what would they do to make it kind of fall flat? Oh gosh, I don't know. If we just get more of the same, I mean, I know we all love the game, but shake it up. I think the weapon crafting is a really good shake up. I think Void 3.0 is a good shake up. But yeah, if those kind of fall flat, then I'd be a little disappointed.
Okay, so to succeed, you got raid. It's got to have a great raid. They have to nail weapon crafting.
Yep.
And there was a third one.
Better experience for the new players.
Yeah. Better experience for new lights.
Yeah, that's huge.
Some new people.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. And then to fail, basically, just to not hit on those things, basically,
Yeah,
especially weapon crafting. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
No doubt. Eat.
I
got one more I want to sneak in.
Oh, get it. Go. Yeah, you go. This will kind of take us, mine will take us a little into the trailer talk real quick. So you go.
So, Mr. Fallout, I got to ask you, we know we got those loadouts. We all kind of scheming. The meta's going to change. There's a lot of crafting's going to come in. A lot of new weapons going to come in. So we don't know everything yet. But my question for you is come raid time.
Okay.
What tried and true, what peanut butter and jelly might you crutch on from a loadout standpoint, just in case the new stuff ain't up to snuff and you need, whether it be DPS or situational stuff? I know it's a broad question, but
no, that's fine. I think a really easy can't miss option to bring to the raid no matter what is going to be Divinity. Which is rough because I know that a lot of people out there don't have Divinity, because think of how many people out there raid. Bungie has shared the raid numbers, and it's only 5 to 10% of the community has completed raids or something like that, and then you have to go do special hidden challenge in the game to get Divinity. But that'll be huge, especially if you're not very confident in popping off with really big damage. Divinity is great. You can just give it to anyone on the team who's I'm not comfortable landing, sniper shots on a boss. Run Divinity. You'll be fine. Another really easy slam dunk, which I'm definitely going to bring to the raid no matter what, is a blinding grenade launcher. All you need is one. In a perfect world, it will have auto-loading holster. If it doesn't, you'll be okay. But that really is the ideal situation. Blinding, auto-loading. Because then no matter what, even if the enemies are really cracked, fire off one quick nade, they're all blind. It's going to make, control the situation much better. I also really like Wither Horde. I don't know how well that's going to do. I mean, we don't know anything about the new raid, right? We don't nothing. Yeah. But that should be... It's really always good for crowd clearing, stuff like that. I got that email. Y'all get that email of your most used exotic stuff. I don't know if they combined the PvE and the PvP numbers, or if they just did one over the other. But apparently my number one most used exotic in 2021 was Wither Horde, which is weird because I never ever bring it into PvP. So I must have played a lot of PvP But yeah, great weapon. Those would be really safe picks for me.
Nice. E.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've got weapon crafting coming we're excited about. We know absolutely nothing about the raid, but we're all kind of hopeful about it and obviously hoping the story lies true. The big one for me is Void. Void 3.0 seems like,
Void.
for one, something that I can't wait for Solar and Arc 3.0, because once we get our hands on this, we're like, all right, I need those now, and one of them is going to be 6 months away. But for you, with regards to just, you jump into the legendary campaign, you may not do it solo, but if you do, is Void 3.0 intriguing enough for you to just be like, okay, I've got to actually kind of understand this quickly, or are you going to fall back to another subclass?
Oh man, I'm going to try and understand it quickly for the main purpose of YouTube
creation.
content.
Yes.
Yeah, your views on how you play a game change a lot when you either have a YouTube channel or are a streamer, especially if you make the jump to full time. But yeah, I'm gonna try to really get my hands in the dough on Void 3.0. I mean, it would be stupid for me not to, just because I feel like there's a lot of opportunity and potential to do fun, wild crap. Yeah, so why the hell not? I'll probably be doing that stuff day one, in addition to power leveling.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you the new exotic, the Devour boots just seem like they are going to be extremely powerful. So you're going to have to duck off and find that lost sector on the right day for boots, like first thing.
Actually, one thing I was going to do tonight, I don't know if this is going to work for Witch Queen, but you know that trick where you have full engrams and then you do a lost sector and the exotic engram goes to your postmaster.
Yep.
And then you hold it there and then you open it up and whatever's on the master that day, boom, you get that. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to try to hold things at my postmaster.
Are you hustling? Are you hustling?
I'm hustling, baby. Because then that way, like maybe day one, I'll get whatever the new exotic is right away. And that would be really cool.
Nice.
Shout out real quick to a couple super chats. Necromancer Zyle, $10 super chat. Cog and Fallout, what are your feelings on Warlocks and Witch Queen? Any suggestions for day one? Those two would say, yes, take that class into Witch Queen. No, I'm just kidding. And then Dano, $5 work got canceled tonight last second. So here you go. Welcome,
Nice.
welcome. Thank you. Glad you got to see it live.
Salute. Yeah.
So
super chat. Are we on YouTube or Twitch right now?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
YouTube.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to ask everybody, did you have, outside of the exotics, because Thunderlord was higher on mine than I thought it would be too for some reason, which I was like, I didn't know I had like 9,000 kills with Thunderlord, but apparently I do. I saw that on your emails that you guys got. Was there any surprises, or were you just expecting exactly kind of what you saw?
For me, I was surprised how much I crutched on Outbreak Perfected. I was like, damn, I really crutched on
And you gave me a lot of crap for dad rifles, so welcome to the party.
Yeah. Then now, even more exciting because we know the primary buff is coming to exotic. So I'm actually in this weird spot where I can't wait to take Graviton and a lot of those primaries to see what that extra 40% is going to do to those red bars.
50
and then, 50 or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And then what we talked about with the scavenger synergy with getting heavy, I'm excited. I'm excited for the first time. Like, will an exotic primary meta, might work out in PvE where I don't have to always crutch. Here come the galley, here come the sleeper. Like we crutch on it for the DPS, but it's just like that's the part that's exciting to me. But what about you, Trav?
So something must have gotten wrong with mine. The second and third highest one according to my stats were Vex Mythoclast and 1,000 Voices, both which make total sense because I use those guns a lot this past year. But then my number one by a lot was Crimson, which I have never used this year. And I checked in my vault, and it is power 1150, and I have not taken it out of the vault in several years, and did not use that weapon, so I have no idea what happened.
Maybe you crushed it hard in the beginning, like I did Thunderlord. That's the only thing I can think about.
1150 though, that's like years ago. Like, yeah.
Remember that Catalyst when that Crimson Catalyst? Everybody was going.
I love that Catalyst.
It was crazy. That range and the reload.
I have the Catalyst, but I swear to God, I've not. It said I had something like 35,000 kills with it, and I was like, no, like there's no way I would remember that. Like, so I think there was something wrong with their data on that one, but the other two definitely make sense.
Some seem a little trippy. What about you, Travis? Or sorry, Fallout. What about you? Any shocks in your email where you're like, "Yep, I play Warlock a lot."
I mean, the Warlock was not a shock to me. It's 55. I got 55% Warlock.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow, that's less than I thought.
Yeah.
I try to keep things even. 28% Hunter, 18% Titan. I know there are other content creators out there. Cough, Watts, fucking see you girl out there with your like 100% Hunter. You gotta get a little variety in here.
Don't judge us, Fallout. Don't judge us.
Gee, I mean, like if you
like, man,
content creator, mix it up. Watts had to go Warlock for a charity goal. I'm
Right.
calling you out, Watts. I'm calling you out, girl. But yeah, I was shocked that I was like, where are they pulling the numbers from? Either they pulled it differently than I don't know. Either they pulled it a weird way, or I spent way more time trying to do solo dungeon challenges than I thought. Because number 1 was Witherhoard, and number 2 was Risk Runner by a lot, like triple the kill numbers of what my third most used weapon was, which was Crimson. Which, like in Crimson early 2021, I did a lot of PvP with Crimson before I changed my in-game ADS settings. Crimson is a really, really easy gun to use. I play M&K and controller, and when I play controller, Crimson slaps hard. But now that I've done my settings change, like Thorn is just my favorite gun ever. Thorn just like doesn't matter if I'm playing M&K or controller. I just love Thorn. But yeah, Crimson made sense. But Risk Runner and Witherhoard with like triple kill numbers. I was like, wow, it took me a long time to get the solo Flawless Prophecy dungeon done. And those two guns I used a lot in that activity. Yeah.
Makes sense.
For me, to no surprise, mine leaned very heavily Titan without a shock. Thunderlord was up there, which was still weird. That's like the oddball for me. I had like Thunderlord up there. Risk Runner was up there, which was a little surprising, but maybe I've just chain lightning so many guys that just added up quicker. I couldn't figure that one out either. But yeah, like, I mean, it wasn't too surprising. I spend more time. The open world is always weird because that I think encompasses dungeons and a lot of things that I guess it just falls into that bucket. So it's like open world seemed actually way heavy, and then it was a decent split, and then Gambit's like 2%, which I'm not surprised at all because, well, we've been waiting on some of what's coming, and still we're not even sure if it's going to be enough. But yeah, like with regards to this week, it's been absolutely chaotic for most of us. And it started Tuesday. We got the launch trailer. Everybody got up early in the morning and talked about the launch trailer. So with what you guys saw there, and I want to ask you first, Fallout, I don't know if you're a big story lore or you kind of get the update from Bife every so often with regards to like seeing what we saw in the trailer. Did it pump you up even more? Are you like kind of lost about the story? You're like very excited to see where they go.
Cool. It's really cool. I love when I read into the story. I'm like, oh, that's tight. You know what I mean? Like reading the all the deep lore dives. It's always very interesting. I feel like the game has so much deeper lore than most people know. My fiance knows, I think, a great deal more lore about the game than me. Like there are certain questions that I'll have, and she'll be like, "Yeah, duh, you didn't know that." Like, I'll be like, "Oh, Zebu Arath is like hunting Savathun," and Anna's like, "Yeah, she's been doing that for like a year." I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I'm like, "Oh, rip, my bad."
He's one of those guys who skipped the cutscene at the end of this week's.
There's just a lot. There's just a lot to take in with the lore. So yeah, Bife, what a brilliant business model, man! Find a game with really rich, deep, compelling lore
that no one understands,
that nobody understands, nor do people have time to go out of their way to understand.
For real.
And just record videos with a charming British voice, and just clean it up out there. He's cleaning up that
silk.
Yeah, I will say this though, that interactive trailer really did a lot to explain for people who haven't read anything. Like my girlfriend's planning on playing this new expansion, but hasn't really kept up on any of the other stuff, and she saw that interactive trailer and was like, I kind of want to read those lore books you have on the bookshelf now. Like she got into it. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to actually see them potentially either tease a really deep history for the Hive visually, because I know, like, I mean, obviously Bife has done like the Book of Sorrows, and we've heard about Fundament. Probably the only words I've ever heard spoken Fundament was from Bife's voice. So now to actually see it on screen, and looks like you've got, you know, the Traveler leaving, potentially causing the syzygy, and then you've got the 3 worms that are left, which I almost know the names of now. I'm not going to claim them because that's still a question mark. But it's just like they're going that deep into the lore with her to really see what's going on into Witch Queen. They've been building so much story momentum going into Witch Queen that I think if they can deliver on this thing, it's going to set a new bar for storytelling in Destiny. If they can, because we had Chosen that set it up, then we had Splicer with Mithrax and Saint and the perspective of Saint, and then we had everything with Marasov building this thing up, and obviously we'll talk about the trip to the finish line that we just had. But other than that, I mean, the story has been really good, and if they can go huge on an expansion, it has me really excited the way they finish up these 10 years. So I'm pretty pumped, especially for the story. Big question, can they tie it into the raid? Can they somehow get Savathun and the pyramid ship in her mind connected? And that's my big question.
I thought they already did a solid job at the end of the trailer, even that last couple of 5 seconds, and she kind of like insinuates, like, you know, she just kind of makes some snide remarks, like, you sure you know what you're getting into, kind of thing. And first of all, shout out to the actress. I forgot her name. Was it
Deborah Wilson?
Whoever, oh, yo, she's
crushing it.
Crushing it. Every
Crushing
time
it.
she makes me uncomfortable. Like, even we'll talk about
laugh.
later. Yeah, the laugh. Even we'll talk about later what happened when we finished up this season. But as far as the trailer specifically, I loved it. I thought the musical choice was great.
Yes.
I
That was
really
absolutely
liked the
good.
musical choice. And then just the oppression of seeing the Hive using our abilities against us. You know what I mean? I really just like the whole scene that set. And of course, I'm always going to be a big fan when I see them all, multiple characters in the room, you know, saying, and I finally see Eris. I'm like, okay, there we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting it feels like the end game style event that I've always wanted Destiny to do. So we're here. What about you, Chad? Like, when you
I wanted to say one thing real quick. When you said the Hives using the Guardians, it's like, it's cool that we're all going to get suppression grenades, but Fallout, I wanted to get your thoughts about the suppression grenades.
Sure.
For
Just
everyone.
in general, like,
Just, I was like, yeah, your Void 3.0 reading
it's just really funny. Like, yeah, I think that it's really hard if you could go back in time and be like, hey, did you ever picture a world where, like, you know, a hunter or a warlock has a suppression grenade? It's like, just no, like, no one would think that.
Big deal.
But yeah, they're kind of blurring the lines a little bit with they're trying to lean in. Bungie keeps talking about their goal of leaning into like the buildcraft fantasy a little bit. They still want like Titans to feel like Titans, like Hunters to feel like Hunters, but they still want to encourage kind of unique build crafting. So I think it's a ballsy move, given the other classes a suppression grenade. But it's all part of the grand Bungie design that they've got going on. So I'm sure it'll be okay.
It's their 10-year plan. Travis, what about you on the trailer?
10-year plan.
Any big moments, any hype, or
Yeah,
just
that
more?
was my favorite trailer. Watching that run and gunning Titan made
Oh.
me very, very proud to be a Titan that day. Actually, as has all the marketing really for this trailer. It's really highlighted Titans as badasses, which I thought was great. But yeah, the trailer I thought was incredible. I'm really excited to see some lore actually in the game, it looks like, which, God, I've been asking for that forever, so that the Fallouts of the world can actually follow the story without having to go to YouTube. And I think that'll be great. But really the highlight of the week story-wise was, you know, getting to see Savathun bully Tassie on Twitter. I think I feel like
That was the funniest thing ever.
Yo, she was loose.
I really think that's really their best idea they've had, whether it was Caiatl or in the past or Savathun now. That's just been getting me hyped up. Like, she's here, she's ready to mess with us. So it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, she burned quite a few people yesterday. The one where it's like, I just got my worm excised, I don't need another one. That was also pretty damn good too.
Funny,
very
funny.
There were some epic ones. Shout out to Gaming Addict in the chat. $2. Travis was wrong as always. Great show, by the way. So
I don't even know what I was wrong about this
just
time.
something as always. And yeah, shout out to Tassie, by the way. He will be joining us next week as long as his child does not appear into the world too soon. So we should be good to get the live review from the Forbes man. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
Good guy.
I mean, if he can't come next week, I hope it's because his child was born on release date. and completely ruined any ability of him to cover the game.
God.
That would be fantastic.
Cassie
Who,
can't make it.
who plans a baby for Witch Queen? What an
Right?
idiot!
Right?
Yo.
No, you don't make love to your wife unless it's in between expansions.
Yeah,
we
come
all know
on.
that.
Yeah,
we
come
all
on
know
now.
that.
It was
you
the
plan
delay.
that. You plan it for the
That's what the job
drought.
master-
You plan it for the content drought.
That's right.
I feel like, all right, let's do 9 months math. We can do it now. Otherwise, we
Yeah.
got to wait like 3 months. I'm sorry. It's just how this works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect the hustle.
So I wanted to ask you guys, since I think most of us had a chance to experience it or at least watch a video about it, the Season of the Lost finale finally got here. It took 26 weeks or so to get here, but we did finally see the finale. Did you all get to experience it as intended, or did anybody have any errors? There were a lot of issues with people. For some reason, you can skip the cutscene that is extremely
Weird.
important to everyone in
right.
your fire team. That's kind of a mistake. If you run down the bridge that got built too fast, you got to go back. Yeah, there's multiple. The quest won't progress if the cutscene gets skipped. Did you guys get to experience it first, and then what did you think of it? I got to go to Cog first because there was a big one in there for the Warlock. So the Osiris man, sir.
This is me. Shout out to Attic who played with me, who had the glitch. I did glitch for me once, so it didn't progress to step 2, so I had to do it over. But yeah, no, I liked it. It was as we got further on and you go. I like the defense little sequence outside, right? They try to give the illusion of like, yo, Diva Wrath forces are coming, gotta hold it down. Shout out to the what is it? Not the techians, but the ones who work for Mara. I forget. They always in the Dreaming City with the masks that they got. I forgot the name. What you call them officially?
Oh, like Petra's.
Petra's whatever. Like
Whatever
on
they
the
are.
side of you.
See, this is
front
why
like
we're
they
not
kill us
Bife right
on-
here. This one moment calls it all right there.
He would know.
He would know. Bife would know. But shout out to them, appearing like they were in the war with us. I like the little touch, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, once we got there and then, the reveal happened. And I will say, again, Savathun has some cold lines tomorrow. And I like that. He was like, something to the effect like, not as, just as tenacious as your family. Like, it was like little jabs going back that I was like, okay. And then obviously, I was in fear for my man's life. I'm a big Osiris fan, so it was looking real spooky for very, very a long time. And I didn't think, to be honest, I thought she was gonna lie and just put his body bag on the floor. I'd be like, I'm doing my part of the bargain.
Here you go.
So
He's
shout out
here.
Yeah. Shout out to Savathun for having honor, you know what I'm saying? And keep my man alive. I didn't think that was gonna happen. But other than the bugs, I did like it. But I want to give it to you guys. What did you guys think?
Travis?
Yeah, so I might not have finished it, I guess. Just what I did is I did the mission and I saw the cutscene. Didn't really have any bugs, but the mission didn't progress for me. And I saw online that people were having trouble with it, so I just deleted the quest. I was like, well, I saw the cutscene, so I think I finished everything. And then is step 2 you go and you listen to an audio log at the
There's like
thing,
a voicemail at the compass.
Yeah, so I got to do that part. It just didn't progress the mission for me. So I think I saw it all and just didn't complete the mission. And I think I'm good. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it again today or tomorrow just to make sure. But yeah.
I played it one extra time for capture's sake. But yeah, I will say just like the look of the final tower surrounded by the kind of projection of the worm. When you saw that the first time, I was going, that's pretty cool. What I did want to say though was, for me, I was worried. I was wondering the reason they kept pushing this thing so long. Was it going to be February 1st with the real astral alignment? Was it going to be the 8th? So we have about 2 weeks like we had before. It was the final week, and nothing about this finale, in my opinion, had to wait this long. Everything with regards to Witch Queen has been completely isolated.
Correct. No,
but
I'm 100%. I 100% agree with them. And actually, I thought it was underwhelming because they made you wait so long, and we basically just got kind of a revised version of Astral Alignment, and then a very, very small cutscene that kind of told us really nothing. We didn't. I mean, we got to see that Osiris is alive and that she didn't get caught. Surprise! The Witch Queen didn't get killed by Mara. But I think other than that, it didn't really do too much to improve my hype. To be honest, I kind of agree with you. They could have just done this on the last week of the rotation and left us wondering what was up with Savathun. unless there's some reason she has to get the light like a week after getting freed from the crystal. I don't really see the reason behind it. So,
Fallout, what about you? Good times? Or you just like, cool. Now let's go to Witch Queen.
Yeah, I was just like, cool. I just everybody kept, especially Paul. Good Lord, never seen a man try to hype up so much. Like, okay, the mission is definitely coming this week. It's like, relax already. Like, we're overhyped. We're putting it on a pedestal now.
Kid's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
sure
early.
it's
I'm
just gonna be
telling you.
like, just gonna be a little cutscene. That's it. And then it turned out to be just a little cutscene, and then that was it. So it's like, which it was fine. I did get to watch the cutscene. I got lucky. The group that I did it right at reset. Apparently, everyone wanted to watch the plot as badly as I did. I know I'm gonna get flagged for saying this. It's really put yourself outside your body right now and just admit that it's really funny that Bungie made such a silly. I'm sure they made it by accident, right? The fact that you can skip the cutscene for everybody in the group. It's funny. Should you be doing it? No, don't do it. It's a dick move. Don't do it. Let people watch the cutscene. Don't be that guy. Come on, help a blueberry out. That being said, it's funny. But I do hope that everyone gets to experience the completed mission and watch the cutscene, because I can only imagine the frustration of trying to get it done and people just being rude. So hope they get that fixed. It's just I can't help but laugh that it's like, of course that would be a thing going into Witch Queen. Why wouldn't it be a thing?
Shout out to TP Hayden, by the way. Shout out to your favorite Warlocks, Cognito and Fallout. Thanks for the great show. Good to see it live. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Salute. Locks.
Yeah, I mean, that was my biggest thing. It's like, I enjoyed kind of the spectacle of the projection of the worm. I like the little back and forth between Mara and Savathun. Deborah Wilson is absolutely killing it in pretty much any time she speaks. Her laugh, and then just the final line, thank you, as just, but that would have been perfect to have on week 9 or whenever it would have been. We were like, okay, so we're going Shadow Realm, got them all the witches together. We go ahead, the witches are together, and then the next week you hit it right as we're there, and not so far later that we've honestly forgotten what the hell happened 5 months ago. That's the only thing about this, and I've talked about this, I know, but to me, especially this one, because if it would have been like her busting out and then some interaction with the Traveler and the Light, and that would have been kind of the giveaway, I would have understood it being this close. As it was literally bust out of the crystal, deuces, and that's it. There's no reason this needed to have the waiting period. I understand they're doing it for the hype and all the promotion, and
You're not helping the marketing team.
I know.
it's not his job.
I get that. I'm talking from a player right now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But the other piece they could have done is, at this point, if they do like a chapter 9 of Season of the Lost, and then do a prologue of the future stuff now in game, put something in there, do a little interaction when you log in and you see something with like Savathun in the trailer, and or something along those lines would have been a better piece. That would still do the marketing purpose, but you're not waiting 4 months to get your final chapter in the mail that some reason they forgot the rest of your book type thing. So for me, it's just the delay that bugged me most, especially once I saw it. I was like, nope, I could have seen that 4 months ago and everything would have been the same. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's my only gripe. Not too much.
That's not that bad of a gripe.
Why don't you stop marketing your game and get people hyped?
He gives me a hard time because I'm not a fan of the fact that they killed Cade. Spoiler alert, in case you're like 4 years behind.
They killed Cade?
Well, you can't play it anymore. So it's
yeah, you literally can't play it in about 3 days.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody tell me?
No, but it's the fact that they did that in the marketing trailer. That's what always kind of bugged me. I was like, if I could have experienced that live in game, that's more of those moments. I understand the marketing, but this one doesn't quite fall under that umbrella. Anyway, I hear that smug Cognito sound over there. The big rework is Gambit. We knew somehow they managed to wait for Gambit to be the big final TWAB, and we're going, you think that the thing that I have 2% of my playtime in is your final hype TWAB. You were talking about marketing, Cog. This is how you nail marketing. Your final TWAB hype is Gambit. Just the wet fart of Gambit.
They were pumped. They had stuff to talk about.
Terrible. I don't know why they're doing this.
The sequence is a little weird. I ain't gonna lie.
I joked like 6 weeks ago that they were going to save Gambit for last when they announced it about it. I was not expecting to be right.
Yeah, it was interesting. So we gonna get into this?
Yeah, so what I want to read is first these bullet points that they were very accurate about. These are their goals, and I want you guys to tell me how many of these goals they hit when you're playing Gambit. You can showcase both your skill at fighting in Destiny and the variety of focus on your arsenal should be just as inherently fun and rewarding as shooting aliens in the face in Gambit as anywhere else.
What is the bullet point there that they want us to have a variety in the arsenal or something?
Yeah, they believe that we believe that it is important that in Gambit these things are true. Do you believe you can showcase both your skill at fighting in Destiny and a variety in your arsenal?
Not really, no.
Okay.
No, you can't. You have to play to the game type.
Yeah. A good invader should be able to turn the tide in a match, but a good invader should be no more important than any other equally skilled team member.
Yeah, that they missed that mark for sure.
That's completely untrue. Yeah.
And the invader can like completely ruin the match right now.
Yeah, an invader can end the match like
Yeah.
40 seconds into it.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Players defending against invaders should have ample tools to fight invaders without worrying about using up ammunition dealing with other tough enemies.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a little rough on that one too.
It should be rare that a match is out of your hands as a player, or an outcome is preordained early in the match.
Yeah,
I almost
probably
never
what they
feel
failed the most at.
if I'm going in with a team, I feel like it's kind of under control. If I'm going into Gambit alone, I have never had any control ever in my life as a solo Gambit player.
Working together with your team to overcome tough enemies, the primeval, a high-value target, or an invader should feel as gratifying as a hard Nightfall.
You know.
I don't think they'll ever get that.
Yeah,
right.
it feels gratifying, but in a different way.
That you just stomped the other team and they're crying in the corner.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
I
more
want
of like a quick chuckle.
Yeah. I wanted
Wait,
to
do
read
they think hard Nightfalls are rewarding?
Wait,
a
what?
different discussion. He said, do you
Do they
think
think that hard Nightfalls are rewarding? They said that's
Depending on the
rewarding.
difficulty level.
I think they just meant not from the reward standpoint, from a gratification standpoint of
Like-
facing tough enemies. Like you've conquered some tough challenge, you overcame. That's what they're trying. Yeah, Travis, yo, why you got that face? Yeah, we know it's that.
I've never beaten a Nightfall and been like, wow, I'm really glad I did that. It's a little bit like eating a Hot Pocket.
Yo.
All right, Jim Gaffigan, thank you very much for that.
You got the rep.
No, but like in reading that, if that's what their goal of Gambit is, and I know I'm giving them a hell of a hard time right now, so if you guys are listening, believe me, I know making a game is not easy. But if those are your goals, we have, as you can hear, been off the mark for a while. So they're actually trying to do quite a bit to address a lot of these points. And generally,
And I think
feels
this is them admitting that they failed at those
This
things,
is the mea
right?
culpa. This is the mea culpa. This is
Yeah,
The
that's
next
fair.
paragraph is
I
while
think
we
that's
don't
fair.
always hit those marks, you know.
At least we have clear goals where like in Witch Queen they put out new Gambit and it just feels bad. And we could be like, hey Bungie, this is your goal bullet point list. I ain't feeling that level of satisfaction.
number 3 is currently not happening right now. Thank you.
Yes.
So they have upcoming challenges for Gambit. They got the core activity, ammo, primeval, invasions, and rewards, obviously to make it recording. First thing, Freelance Gambit. How do you guys feel about that?
I think that is like I get that they don't want to be separating the playlist more and more because like the more they do that, it just gets kind of hard to find a match. You know what? I'm down. I hate going into Gambit alone because I just know like first of all, why am I going into Gambit alone? I must be doing it to get like a pinnacle or something important related to a quest or an item because it's like there would be no other reason for me to step into Gambit. And if I do and I go in alone, I'm always going to get slapped in the mouth by a full stack of 4 who for whatever reason like Gambit people they hit on a different level. These Gambit people, man, God love them. Play the game
crazy.
however you want. But like I'm so glad that you have something that you enjoy playing that you feel like you succeed at. But like holy shit, dude. Some of these teams are like they feel like they're training for like the MLG Gambit Grand Finals. And I'm like, damn, man, you don't have to go so hard. Like, there's no. If there was like a Halo, remember the Halo 3 ranked system? You're going for your level 50. I feel like they're going for their level 50. If they had that, that would be really cool. You could then that would justify some of the ass whippings that we've gotten in Gambit. But yeah, I think the freelance Gambit is a good idea.
What about you guys? Any
I'm
reason
curious.
you wouldn't want freelance Gambit in there?
Very curious about Trav's thoughts on this.
Oh no!
Really curious.
Thank God, dude. This is
Okay.
essential. They needed freelance Gambit because, I mean, I hate playing Gambit. I will never do it of my own volition unless Bungie forces me to do it. But if I'm gonna do it, like the worst part about it, well, no, sorry. The first worst thing about it is that nobody who plays the mode knows how to play. Unless they're, not the people you get matched with anyway. The people on the other team always know because they're in a 4-stack.
That's true.
But that's the worst thing. But the second worst thing is that you run into full stacks and it just destroys you. So I think they needed to do this. That's like the single easiest thing they could have done, and they could have done it way earlier than now. By the way, they have the technology.
They have the technology.
Yeah.
Shout out to those servers. Salute.
They could have done this a long time ago. I'm glad they're doing it now. It's necessary. And I mean, I basically only play Gambit by myself because how in the world could I convince another person to do that to themselves, and would I want to? So yeah, I'll be on the freelance playlist quite a bit. But here's the problem. The people who need to be on the freelance playlist, they're not going to know how to find that freelance button that's 10% the size of the other one.
How I was literally I was streaming freelance Iron Banner, not this time, like the last time I was in town.
It did that yesterday.
I was just streaming and talking to chat, and I open up the thing and I queue in, and like at least like 4 people in chat were like, whoa, what'd you just do? And I was like, what do you mean? It's like they didn't know there was a freelance Iron Banner.
That's a good point.
Yep.
It's like
that happened to me yesterday.
Unfortunate for you.
On my smaller viewer scale on Twitch, but because this man over here is a monster.
Don't roast yourself like that, man.
No, please do it. I was gonna make a comment.
Yeah, there's nothing else. No, same exact thing happened. I was literally like, Rook's probably sitting here in chat, and he was like, "Wait a minute, there's a freelance." I was like, "There's a freelance for this. There's also one for survival. So make sure." He's like, "Seriously, that one too?" And I'm going,
Yep.
What year are we in Destiny? And this stuff is not obvious to people. That's
true.
And they kind of hide them off.
Bungie doesn't make it obvious to be
That's
clear.
the thing. First, I was laughing like, "Oh, look at this goofy player. He doesn't know that like freelance is a thing." And then the more I thought about it, I was like, "Wait a minute! Like, this is on Bungie. Like, they need to be telling people. Like, the New Light players shouldn't have to like discover through a Twitch stream."
If you click on it and you're in a fire team by yourself, it should suggest. It should give you a pop up that goes, "Hey, you're alone. Would you like to queue into?" Solo player version. Like, why doesn't it do that? Like, it knows if you're alone. It knows if you're alone.
It just pops up a picture and says, "Have you applied lube yet? Go here or here."
Yeah.
No, y'all around. We're around the same age group here. They need a Clippy. Remember Microsoft Word? The paperclip dude who'd be like,
"You look like you're writing
a player."
It should be a Shax. Shax should pop up and be like, "Did you mean to do this?"
And then when you click on the normal match-made version, he goes, "This is amazing. You're going to die, but have fun."
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Now, I want to say, like, this tells you how little I've played Gambit. When the rotating seasonal selection of curated encounters, I didn't know this was a thing. Like, when you go to Pacifica, you always face Hive, or you always see the Shriekers. Like, it's a set encounter in certain places. That's how little I've played Gambit. And they're finally going to have the technology, a year later, to have some rotation here. Now, they're going to make, like, a season, have certain encounters and things, and they'll shake them up by season. But we've had the same exact encounters for a year. Could not have told you that was a thing. Did any of you know this? I wanted to ask.
Actually did not.
I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I did not know they were set per location. I did not know that.
I also didn't. I was surprised to read that, and I was like, you know what? That makes sense. I don't remember fighting anything but knights on the map they were talking about. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Shout out to the Shriekers.
Shout out to Attic, by the way. Guns for every slot for the raid besides Divinity. We might touch on that in the end if we got time.
He want that Fallout plays now, though. He like, I tell that I need to know what raid energy weapon that he's going to use because
we're not going to know.
Go watch his
video.
Say
Glaive. Glaive in every slot.
He's going to put a video out at 9 o'clock in the morning, an hour before the raid goes live, or 2, that says, this is what you should probably jump into the day one raid with. So wait for it.
Not a bad video idea.
And you're going to
Yes.
probably get it.
Not a bad video idea.
I was going to say that I'm surprised. I think you've already done the 50 games in Gambit, because I was going to say since Freelance is coming, you should do the. I was like, I've watched
But
that.
there,
I think.
people are calling for
Another one.
50 games of new Gambit. I'm like, God damn, all of you.
Well, hey, it's for the content, man. So
That
you
is true, for the
you
content.
can trim Shax's junk once again. I love that. By the way, that's like
the homework, the level of homework.
I'm a fan. What can I say? So,
Nah,
so respawn points are actually going to be added to all fronts, basically where the enemies can spawn. So you're actually going to have respawn points in all places. I thought this was huge, because every time you're like, all right, I have my 6-mile hike across the map to get to my to my buddies over there, and they're also going to have basically invader points over there. They're going to also have heavy ammo, which we'll get to in a minute, kind of spawning over there as well. So the enemy fronts, and if you die, the respawn timer is going to be a little better. They are actually changing up the feel of the game. It is potentially going to feel different, back in the action quicker. All in all, generally good things. And the fact that if you do get, all of a sudden you turn around a corner and there's 6 orange bars hitting you in the face, and one of them's a minigun. When you die, half of your motes are at least going to fall on the ground. Do you guys like this change? Do you think this is going to level the playing field if you stub your toe too much, or what do you think is going to happen here?
I think it is helpful because people that die to ads, which tend to be players that either don't know what they're doing or are kind of most likely going to be a drag on the team, won't hurt the team crazily, but it will actually give invaders an opportunity to do a lot more work, because they can pick up the motes dropped by the people that they kill now, which actually lets them end the match even quicker if they're really good. So I'm interested to see how that, because it does help the players, but it also has the potential to help really good invaders be even more effective at ending the match quick. So I'll be interested to see how that changes things.
Fallout, what you think?
Yeah, I think the changes overall are probably for the best. I think that, it's really funny. Way back in the day when they first introduced Gambit, I flew out to the UK to co-commentate a Gambit tournament with Bife, which is really
suit.
funny.
I remember this.
Yeah, really funny to think about now. But it was actually a lot of fun. I think in a different universe, Gambit could be, I know this could be really memed on hard, but in the right circumstances with a different set of goals, Gambit has the potential to actually be fun competitive. But I don't think anyone here now, including me, wants Bungie to really spend a crazy amount of time or resources to make that happen. I just think it's kind of like a fun side core activity that people want to go into without feeling like they just got punched in the face and have to throw up for 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them just making changes to make Gambit a more palatable experience, to make it suck less, have good rewards and all that junk. I think they're on the right track. I think it's the best thing we could be doing with Gambit right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to.
What about that Sony money though?
It's not instant.
We're taking all
don't
that.
You know they're spending that on movies?
It's not like they had a pre-deposit.
1.2 bill of that Sony money. It's going right into Gambit, brother.
That's it, brother.
all right.
Hey, for all we know, that's the other game they're working on. It's just a Gambit standalone. We'll see.
God,
that's better.
Sony would be taking a big risk on that one, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Scott Schultz, by the way, with the $20 super chat. Glad to get this live. Great content. Thank you very much for being here. Fallout bringing in all the love tonight. I did want to actually ask you guys with regards to the next piece when it says all shields have increasing resistance to non-matching damage types. So it's like a half a match game. Does this bother you guys already, since half of the things, later in the match, I feel like you face nothing but bosses as it is? Do you think you're actually going to have to lean into, loadouts? Arbalist is going to be with you all the time. What do you guys kind of see?
Probably just Arbalist. I feel like that one sort of, they said that they want to kind of improve the type of weapons you can use, and I feel like that's the part of their patches that they're trying to address that. But in my experience, it has the potential to do the exact opposite, which is make players feel like they have to use a specific set of weapons to match the shields, and then they're going to have to divide and conquer among their team to make sure everybody's got, they've got coverage. And I kind of feel like that has the potential to go the opposite way on them. So I'm kind of interested about that one, but we'll see.
It's one of those things I got to see it when I play it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's variation right now. Yeah. It sounds a little weird, but until we play, we'll see how it affects your loadouts and stuff.
Get your Arbalest Catalyst. That's all I'm gonna say. Probably has many benefits coming up.
Definitely do that,
including the legendary campaign. That's gonna be big one. The next piece is the blockers, draining, all that stuff we've got. And honestly, this one is kind of some nice tweaks. They said the Phalanx is going to be a little beefier. The Knight is going to have a stasis attack, so potentially messing you up a little bit if you get closer. And then the one I wanted to ask you guys about was the moat drain, just to see what you guys' take on this one is. They say the moat drain for multiple blockers continues even if the opposing team is in its primeval phase. Says this will help the team that is behind get to the primeval a little quicker. It never felt great to send over 4 blockers only to have the team ignore them. It also gives the team in the lead a bit more incentive to kill the blockers. Do you guys see that if there are blockers and the primeval's out, is it just constantly healing them, or what do you think it's actually doing?
No, I just think it's so let's say like my team has the primeval up, right? For whatever reason we're playing 3v1 Gambit, all 3 y'all versus me, right? My primeval is up, but you're still sending blockers over. Now, even though my meter is like there's no moats to drain from, you're still draining in the sense that I think that your moat score is going up. So if I want to prevent you from getting your primeval quicker, even though you're not stealing moats because my primeval is already up, you're still auto generating additional moats every time I'm not dealing with multiple blockers. You're improving your moat score. It's kind of like a catch-up mechanic.
Yeah. Yep.
I am not. I don't like catch-up mechanics. Like I feel like. Yeah, I know it's a bold take.
No
participation medals.
OG Gambit felt like. I love speedrunning. Do you guys watch like when people do like Mario 64 speedruns? That shit is really impressive to me.
Shout out to Mark Medina.
Mark does that.
Yeah,
Mark
dude,
Medina
that's really cool. OG Gambit felt like a scramble. And then I think when they started doing all the revamps to Gambit, it started to feel like they were including a lot of catch-up mechanics, which again, I just didn't like. Like it could be me putting way too much thought into Gambit, but like to me, it's sort of like if you were at a baseball game and like by the 7th inning, one team is up like 5-0. It's like, oh well, we'll give you a run for free. It's like, well, wait, no, it's supposed to be like a competition, right? Like
it's like the blue shell in Mario Kart. I mean, come on, that's
blue shell.
But everybody hates the blue shell in Mario Kart.
I know. The Mario Kart catch-up mechanics are
Yeah,
annoying,
that's
like
that's the socialism of Mario Kart right there.
Yeah, it's a core mechanic of Mario Kart, but like again, like for what Bungie's trying to do, which is make Gambit suck less, like I get it. Like I get what they're trying to do. I don't really like catch-up mechanics, but sure, why not? If it makes people suffer less in Gambit, then I'm down for whatever they do.
Shout out real quick to Gaming Forte with another $10 super chat. Shout out to the coincidence that I just listened to the 60-second TWAB. Then, to my surprise, I see Fallout here. Have a great show. I'm off to make sure I'm not the weakest link on my raid team.
That's right. Get ready. Get the loadouts ready. Had to keep asking energy questions to Fallout. He's ready.
That is true.
The next one is ammo economy, and this one actually seems like we're almost going back to a little bit of D1 days, kind of, but we will kind of have to see how this one goes. Basically, when completing a front, any of the 3 places where they spawn, a small container of special and heavy ammo spawns, and you got 20 seconds once it's open to get it. You kill a high-value target, you're going to get a heavy brick for every player. And then they said limited special and heavy ammo bricks to only spawn from enemies if you have the Finder mods equipped. Correct me, by the way, if I'm wrong. Finder mods are also on your helm where our orb generation's going to go. I'm really waiting to see how that... Are you guys worried that helm is just really going to get overstacked or overused?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's on purpose.
Yeah, maybe.
That was my masterworking concern. Like undervalue, take away a little bit of the value of the masterwork when we lost that, and then we talked about it with the whole synergy.
We need armor 3.0. We keep asking for it.
We ad nauseum. Continue.
No, I just kind of wanted a quick take on that one. But yeah, it seems like you'll definitely be swimming in heavy ammo. So when you do get those invades, you are probably going to have some as long as you're nearby the fight. So be in the fight and you can respawn closer. All in all, seeming like a pretty
I don't
good.
mind it. I was going to say real quickly, only because there's some times in Gambit where it's just weird with the heavy economy, and you're just like, fam, I didn't get no heavy the whole like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very helpless feeling sometimes when you don't have any, especially during the primeval phase. So yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, big things for the Primeval. The envoys are now, it's basically Gambit Prime is what it feels like. There's going to be envoys around the map. They're going to have different shields. If they're up, the Primeval is going to be shielded. And they also said, since they're kind of mixing some of this stuff up and which Primevals actually can spawn, the Malfeasance is, you'll be able to get that anywhere else. But the envoys, not going to be affected by the, what is that stack I'm blanking on? The Primeval damage thing?
Primeval Slayer,
yeah,
whatever
Slayer stack.
yeah,
Yeah,
whatever the
stack.
stack is. Yeah.
So you're going to be seeing, and then also the envoys respawn at 30% of Primeval damage done. It really seems they're almost forcing every Gambit. You're going to have kind of some damage phases. So do you guys think you're actually going to be able to nuke, or is it, what's going to be the strategy? Divide and conquer, or just like move as a herd and kill everything together?
For most players, it'll probably be move as a herd. Insane people like Glad Chevy, like type level people, will probably find a way to insta nuke. But I think for the average player, it'll be like, let's rotate and get those envoys. You know?
Yeah. Those crazy Gambit players that Fallout was referencing earlier, I feel like they'll find a way to nuke no matter what. Because I've seen them play. I've seen them play, and they can put out damage. If only they would apply themselves to activities people actually cared about. They could really clean up in, Crucible or really anything. Just do something else with your lives, guys.
I was like, Benji on Twitter right now is crying inside, but that's fine.
Oh,
I follow that guy.
Yeah. He's a beast though. If you've ever actually watched him play.
I think he was on my raid.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yep. Big thing is for invasions, level advantage doesn't exist anymore. Invasions are at 40 and 80. You can't save them up, so use it or lose it, which thank God for that. And you also no longer can see how many motes players are carrying. And then I think one of the coolest things, I was always wondering how they could balance out the see-through walls forever. And I think they actually found a perfect example is when you're ADS, you can no longer see through walls, but when you're not ADS, you can see the nameplates. So if you're looking down a scope, somebody could move while you're looking, but you come back out, you can see where they are and change. Do you guys feel the invaders getting handicapped too much, or do you guys think this is fair? And also, invader kills are a 27% heal to the Primeval every time. It had been anywhere from 5 to 35%, which is all over the place, apparently.
Crazy. Yeah.
Do you guys think this is a good change for the invader, a fair change, too much, too little?
I think it's fair. I don't think it's ever really ideal if you can tell exactly where somebody's head is before they walk around a corner and have a chance to fight you. Like that just that's not PvP, that's slaughter. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about I guess I'm trying to understand the mentality behind taking away the moat number. You know what I mean?
So you don't target that one specific player?
No, because I'm usually the guy that's hiding and cowering in the corner when I got 15 and I hear the alarm go off. So, it's going to be better for me, but I'm just curious from the invader standpoint. I guess they just felt
just look for the deer in the headlights who hasn't moved while you're looking at him.
Look for who's out there and don't target that person. I guess for competitive purposes. I don't know. I was just curious. It's an interesting.
It gives, I guess, more of a dice roll to who you kill, so it's not always
right.
3 people have no motes. If I can do everything in my power to use my Thundercrash super to kill this one guy, it'll set him back. And I think now it's just more of a dice roll. You can kill 3 of them and the one to 15 still live. So I guess that's the point. Again, as Fallout said, kind of more of a leveling the playing field. Not so much a catch up, but not punishing as much. They're not punishing as much as, I think that's more what they're going for.
Fallout, what you got?
I think it's fine. Anything they can do to make the invader a little bit less strong, a little bit less annoying is good. So yeah, don't give them the total free wall. I always thought the wall hack was like way too much. It's just a lot.
Yeah, that's free.
Super free. But yeah, so I think it's fine. We'll see how it does.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, basically Gambit is going to turn into trials. If you go to the Drifter, he's going to have the same focusing. He's going to have your weapons and armor that you can go for. You're going to be able to focus engrams that you get from him. And theoretically, we're going to have the same thing for future vendors. And they talk about this as being the entire year. Most of all your standard pursuit nodes up at the top, all of their vendors are potentially going to get a rework similar to this one. End of match drops are going to be kind of the new weapons. So those are still going to be for one season long. So if you want that new that hype bottom dollar that has 60,000 perk options, still got to play Gambit. You will not be able to focus quite into that one as much. But they've got Crowd Pleaser, bottom dollar, Trinary System, Borrowed Time, and then Servant Leader. Those are going to be your focuses along with the armor. And then Gambit is where they actually talk about, so we're all going to have to play it a little bit. The weapon crafting.
You don't sound enthused.
I mean, if you use the word "have to," I think that's
it's called out over here.
Enthusiastic.
It's Gambit, Cog. What do you want him to do? Get up and jump on his.
It's likely that
we're gonna have to play it.
Yeah. It's likely we all should definitely check out this new reinvigorated Gambit so you can get your weapon crafting. I don't know, ornaments.
Marketing.
No, it's like the skin, the ornament, whatever the weapon crafting cosmetic is. The first one comes from Gambit. So we're all going to have to play a little bit and be like, are these cool and worth my time? Or, you know, I feel like it almost pictures me like a Call of Duty, like a little thing hanging by the scope, or if you are kind of ADS that it's hanging there. If they do stuff like that, could be kind of cool. Get a little like Trials sun sitting on the side of your gun or something like that. But
we get those little Gambit specific perks now, right? Don't we get those little Gambit focused? You've been in there, you get plus.
Yeah,
whatever.
so if you the Hake Gambit auto rifle, the one that does damage to vehicles, which we don't have that many of, but turrets. But also apparently like the Gambit, I think the Gambit origin perk is going to be like invader tracking. I think that's what I saw one place.
Yeah.
So that actually,
you think they're going to have a Gambit perk that makes it so you don't have to play Gambit?
Yo,
that'd be great.
With y'all.
I put that on all my weapons.
I put that on every weapon.
It's like you need to do 8 Gambit bounties or go into the throwaway and shoot enemies with this.
Yeah, I'd put that on every weapon and weapon crafting. That's what I'd be.
This is the opt out of Gambit mod.
Not a Gambit.
Yeah, it's like the Adept, except for.
I can't. Yo, you stupid. Continue. Got loose.
Anywho, the one I actually did want to ask you guys about Gambit Labs. They are going to mess with things a little bit. So that's pretty much most of the changes. Basically, Gambit seems like it is going to feel very different. More heavy ammo in a reliable way. Invasions in kind of randomness. You're able to respawn much closer to your team. Primeval is going to have shields. If you ever played Gambit Prime, you got an idea. Gambit's going to feel a little different, so jump in. Definitely let all of your awesome content creators know if you hate it or love it. So that's what the comment section is for. Just play nice. That's all I got to ask. But Gambit Labs actually sounds interesting. I wanted to get your guys' takes. So the invasion swap. So this Labs variation plays around with who gets the benefit of triggered invasions. So during the moats phase, instead of opening your own invasion portal at 40 and 80, you instead open your opponent's invasion in portal when you dunk. We expect this to completely disrupt the accepted meta and when to deposit and invade. So I was curious if you guys like this idea or not. Travis is kind of like shaking his head. Are you like intrigued?
Actually, when I read this, I thought, actually, that kind of strikes me as how it should be. It doesn't seem to me like the person who's ahead should get to invade and like stomp on the person that's behind. It should be the person that's ahead should make themselves vulnerable.
Nah, for the team that's the way it should be. If you're ahead, you should be rewarded by being able to stomp those blueberries into the.
If you're better and you are ahead and they open a portal and have a chance to kill you and you're better, you should be able to just kill them and it's not an issue. But if you're just ahead because you're good at PvE and you're bad at the PvP part, then they should be able to come in and make up for it with some PvP skill. That's the way I'm thinking of it. Like
again, people in my Twitch chat seem to think it was a funny idea. So I'm like, I'm down with it. I think it will be a funny idea. But to me, it's just Bungie disguising cleverly another catch-up mechanic. So it's like, your team's in first because you're really good at dunking moats and slaying out. Well, we'll give the other team a shot to come.
Well, I think what it'll do is it'll make it so that the team just keeps all the moats until everyone's ready to deposit all at once, right?
You go 60 dunk all together.
60 every time. Because I would want to wait to, all right, nobody deposit. Like wait until we all have 15 and then we'll go in and throw it together.
Throw 4 knights all over their bank.
Yeah.
I would like edge because it's 40 and 80 for the invading. Yeah, I would have everybody on the team like edge at 39. So hopefully there's a guy on the other team like by the portal like, oh yeah, like waiting to go in, but we're like, nah, we ain't opening that up yet, son.
Oh, you do 39 and then 99.
And then everybody on the team dunks 15 at the same time, and it's like, bam, bitch. Now you can invade, but we got all our motes in.
I was thinking what Travis said, that you could have 4 knights at the same time. And yeah, if you did 39, somehow like magically get that number so there's no portal, and then everybody has 60, so then you dunk and you're at 99, one person just runs off, kills a random thrall, and you're good to go on the primeval. You could really control it. I just thought it was kind of fun and unique. Cog, is this going to be a catch-up mechanic, or you think you're going to have a little fun with this?
I'm in the middle because there is a part of me that gets the satisfaction of melting. Like there is something about me that loves going in there and just like, yep, it's over. And I'll be honest, like I'm a fan of the quick Pinnacle, so I don't have the feature on against Gambit that everyone else has. I'm like, this is the quickest 3 matches going. Now the next stuff that we're gonna get into when we talk about them damn oppressive bounties that they want you to stay in there past them 3 matches that I want to get out of, that's what I want to discuss. But this, I mean, look, it is what it is. We'll try it. But I understand what Travis is saying though, with the going back and forth. They have to do something so that, you know, people if you don't get to use the word, the casual, feels that
Johnny
they're
Two
in the
Thumbs,
match.
Johnny Day Job.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to feel like he didn't get pump stomped, and I get it. And if it overall helps the mode and player count.
Man, can you have a better tone to go with those words right there? If it gives the tone and helps out those guys, and if you could just pander a little more.
Yeah, look,
really?
I like melting them out. I ain't gonna lie. Like, primeval over, you did it, brother, and then it's over. I'm like, yes,
done. You're like, if I could just have a faster loading screen, you'd be done in no time.
It's over.
The other one is going to be Moat Thief. Fundamentally, the original concept was like the Guardian Invader was kind of a terror. But basically, normal moat drain from having 2 blockers is disabled. Instead, every second the invader is invading, 1 moat drains directly from your bank to the invader's bank. And I gotta ask, does anybody think this isn't gonna be anything but send the invisible hunter to the other side?
When I read that, I was like, well, it sounds like it's just gonna promote invader camping, but like, I don't know. I mean, maybe if there's people out there who want to invade, but they don't feel like they have the capability of popping off because they're not cracked at PvP, I don't know. Let them if they want to be a sneaky hidey person. I just feel like it's gonna promote slow gameplay.
I don't really view it as a way to change invader behavior. I view it as a way to change defending behavior, because right now the go-to move is everybody just hides and waits for 15 seconds or whatever for the guy to leave. And now you can't really do that. Like if the guy invades you, you have to come out and challenge him. And so as a invading main myself on Gambit, when I play, I want to get out there and just like walk in the center and be like, who will challenge me? Like I want that moment. And send your champion my way. I want to see. I want that. I want to be able to come out and then be like, all right, we have to kill him. Like we can't just like wait for this guy to just pick off all of our moats. So I think that could potentially be a really good change.
And then you just combine these two, and all hell is loose.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
Right.
The final big piece they touch on is ritual awards. Basically, it just talks about at the start of Witch Queen, the ritual playlists will be updated to grant specific gear. So the world loot pool, it's not going to be Vanguard plus 30 other things. Seems like it's actually going to be focused into Crucible's Crucible, Vanguard's Vanguard, Gambit. So if you're going for bottom dollar, hopefully now it's like 1 of 6 as opposed to 1 of 36. So it will help, it seems, a little bit. Engram focusing will only be available on Saint and Drifter, but that's going to be a thing for the future. The world engrams will continue to drop at major ranks at rituals. So you get the engrams will be a little more variety, but the end of match type drops will be a little more focused. So it does really seem like they're trying to lean into each of these playlists having kind of defined set of weapons, and it all, I guess, falls on them to keep them fresh. But overall, changes to Eververse? Nope, no changes.
Should it get nerfed?
Why would they even bring that up?
I feel like that is just a troll. They're like,
I was very confused by that section. Like, if you have no changes, why put it in there? Why talk about it?
They having fun with it. They know we gonna say it, so
they could have put a section about Crucible and been like, "Yeah, we're not working on that mode either. We completely forgot it's in the game." So
Hey, they actually said 2 Crucible maps are returning, so I need a thumbs up and thumbs down from my Crucible players. Eternity and Vostok. Are we happy? Are we sad?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That is the limpest. That is the most flaccid response from 3 guys I've seen. I got a thumbs down
used
and
to flaccid responses from 3 guys. That's Ebontis.
Yeah, that was pause worthy. Oh,
yeah.
But I just don't like those maps, especially Eternity. I hate Eternity. It gives me the D2 vanilla scout meta.
It's such a a painful reminder of that meta.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Took me to a dark place, Fallout. Remember that? Remember that meta?
And what are they gonna bring that map back for? Not trials, I hope, right?
Just wait.
Yeah.
Bro, because I think that was like the Graviton. It was like the Mida meta, the Graviton and Vigilance wing, and everyone was lane camping, and I'm just I hate that.
That middle hallway, I think is
that middle part of that middle kill box.
Yeah, I don't even understand why it's there. It's like for I guess solo queuers who
so
solo playlist.
So Vostok on the Iron Lord's Mountain, how we feel, is that one any better than Eternity? Because not a lot of love sending for that one.
I would rather play on Vostok.
Yes,
as weird as that is, it's not a map that a lot of people enjoy. But whatever. I haven't played on it in a while. Could be a fun little throwback. Why not?
Yeah, I don't mind that one as much. And plus, from the lore standpoint, I'm like, all right, Iron Lord's okay. Gotta be a little biased. But yeah,
there you go.
Honestly, they should just put all the maps back in. Like, it's been so boring lately with the same damn maps all the time. I just think, hopefully we'll get new maps because the returning maps just really isn't enough at this point, I think.
Yeah, I got Tassie's recap on the TWAB, and the one thing he wanted was, how do we still not get Gambit maps? I know granted, that's like... But that's kind of a thing. We get a Gambit rework and no Gambit maps, but we're also like dying for Crucible maps. But there's 2 Gambit maps just sitting there.
They should add those back, but honestly, like, I don't care about Gambit maps until they fix the Crucible maps. Like, obviously I'm a Crucible main and I'm very upset with what's happened in Crucible the past couple of years, but that's just how I feel.
Fair.
Okay, I gotta ask. Is anybody not hyped for that Void armor?
The Hunter eyebrow armor, you mean?
Yeah, the Hunter eyebrow. You got like the laser line Titans.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
Yo, the Hunter shining. So
that's the Eververse one, right?
Yeah, that's the Eververse Order Universal.
You know she's out here. Come on.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
I did
1,200 new options.
The 2 armor sets they showed in that TWAB, the first one I was like, that's okay. And the second one I was like, oh, that's really dope. And then I looked and I was like, oh yeah, paid and unpaid right there. Pretty easy to see in the quality.
Yeah, we have a petition on the Vanguard ritual armor looks. Like, my God. Bro, like, I know Bungie, I love y'all. I love you. Like, but
that's like your low-key basic bitch armor, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I'm saying. Look, come on. I can't get jiggy with that. Like,
that's for Guardians to shop at Ross, Cog.
That's your standard. You got it from the bargain bin or the thrift store, and then they just kind of hobbled something together and then spray painted it so it matched the outfit. But that's basically what I feel like. The Pursuit armor is always just like instant trash. I feel bad for the artists, as you said, because they go through and it's like it actually looks kind of sleek. It almost all looks like jumpsuits and athletic wear, and you got the little jacket. It all looks kind of clean.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a lot going on. And then we're going to get Thorn armor in the dungeon. And I'm going, why is it even there? I do agree with you that it does seem like a weird thing. It's like, I know you have to drop some armor, but I'm almost at the point of like, we get so much more armor in other places that we're much would rather have. I don't even know why sometimes that stuff's there. That may be harsh, but it's...
I gotta, virtual Gambit Crucible Vanguard. Gotta step it up, boys. Gotta step it up.
The season pass is actually getting a change, speaking of armor. They're going to bring back the high stat armor, which is good. So I'm actually excited to see that. Everything else, they're just kind of adjusting some things. Kind of as the high stat armor is coming back, they're going to have less of the things that drop the armor and all those things. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment to the season pass. Mostly the high stat armor is coming back. But I do think we have to all take a second, and we need to have a moment of silence for the Thrallway.
Rip Thrallway.
Yep.
Good run. It was a good run.
We appreciate you.
And I knew you well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think if you gotta go shoot some enemies for a catalyst, it sounds like it'll work, but nobody's gonna be season pass level 9,000. Has anybody seen so I've seen pictures of these people who are level 1,500 now. Not with Witch Queen, now.
Yeah, it was the hustle. Yo, we ate well. We ate well for
It's the longest season ever, and people were just like, I guess I'll leave my computer running 24/7, 365 to see how high my season pass rank can get, but I don't get it. Boss stomps are apparently going to be slightly adjusted too.
Yes.
Got a cool new emblem. Shout out to all the streamers. Any of these people who stream, at least the two on the top, but over here it's the two corners. The new emblem for the gifted subs on Twitch. So if you're going to try and break a sub record, see if you can get Fallout to give you his lemon bar recipe.
That one's never getting out, baby.
I gotta taste these lemon bars because I love lemon bars. So I need to taste these things because yeah, it's like
I can't believe nobody has hit the lemon bar tier on my Patreon page yet.
I had to look to see what it was.
Yeah, reasonably priced.
It's not that much, you know. It's just a small down payment on a house or something.
It's fine. Yeah, I can't believe nobody's signed up for it.
Yeah. At some day, I think somebody's just gonna blow you away first off and be like, "Hey, Anno, rent covered. I just got to give out the recipe," and she's like, "Worth it."
Totally worth.
We're going to Vegas tomorrow though. I'm taking a day or two off. You know that Ridge wallet? That's going in the next video.
Ooh yeah.
It actually is a pretty cool looking void emblem though. I got to be honest, that looks pretty good. And it looks like they adjusted the times, so servers are going to go down at 6:45 p.m. So 15 minutes sooner. And yeah, we are almost wrapping up. And then looks like you can actually preload 2 hours sooner. So February 21st, 7 p.m., you'll be out of the game. Preload your console wherever you're playing.
Yes, sir.
And that's pretty much everything. So as we kind of wrap everything up, I wanted to ask just each of you guys, going into this thing, the final piece, is there like first thing you're going to do when you log in, or first thing you're hoping to see, or just kind of the final piece before? Because this is the last show before we get to dive in and pretty much no life it and live on Advanced GG for the next few weeks. So
plug. I see plug.
I was like, I got my new sour apple today. It's actually pretty good.
There you go. Salute.
That's a good flavor.
What you doing? Fallout.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna take this weekend to try and just chill a little bit, plan a little content, plan a little future content, but for the most part, try to chill, relax, because it's gonna be mad fun, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. But I want to make sure I'm well rested, treat my body right, all that stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, go Trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm kind of done with all of my Destiny prep, so yeah, I'm just gonna chill for a bit and maybe play a little bit of Crucible, which, by the way, one of my stats was 85% of my time was spent in Crucible, which is actually
at least you live up to it, so that's good.
Yeah,
salute.
That was pretty high. But yeah, I'm probably not going to see a whole lot of Crucible at the beginning because I have to focus on the review, and there's frankly not a whole lot of content in Crucible that needs reviewing that I haven't already played 100 times. So yeah, I'll say goodbye to my beloved before I hop into the PvE and focus on that for the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much content they have. But yeah, just taking it easy, man, because the next 10 days after launch are going to be insane for me. How about you, Cog?
For me, it's just been about builds and like I'm scheming on how new things will be buffed. So I haven't touched Void in a while as a Warlock. So just kind of like really getting into the mindset, okay, now I'm going to have these fragments and what's going to change. And so I'm just thinking of builds. I'll bust out Nezarec. I'll bust out a couple of like Void-specific exotics and trying to play around. So that's good. I'm actually Void 3.0. That's literally what I'm actually the most hype about.
Very nice.
I really like, I know Titans don't like Stasis, but for Warlocks, we like our Stasis. We like, Behemoth. We like our turrets. We like all that stuff going on. So to have that customization in Void is very exciting. So I'm ready for that. The glaive, just to see how it feels. Like, is the shield blocking going to be good? Yeah. Is the projectile aspect going to feel
The melee still looks sloppy to me.
I know. I can't get a feel on that melee.
I know the melee. Look a little wonk, but I want to know, is it truly going to be an effective weapon? And yeah, just get this story popping, see what's going on with the Witch Queen. What's the first thing you going to be doing?
I'm going to try and solo the legendary campaign literally to record it as I go, because for one, if you don't, before you get to the soft cap, play the legendary campaign, please. It is the best way to level up, because you go whatever we start at 1350 to 1520 when you get done with all of them. So you're just going to skip the soft cap and then make a huge jump into the powerful gear. So that's, and I want to do it on the first one. I may like take people in with the second one, but there's a lot of people who are going to jump in and be like, can I do it? How can I do it? And the whole goal is to tell people, yes, you can. It's possible. And then, but I also want to experience what I hope is a very special campaign with a challenge. With a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I was like, whether I'm playing Dark Souls or I'm kicking my ass in Sifu, whatever it is kind of that. So that's basically it for me. And that's pretty much what we got. So I know we're kind of on a tight time. I got to get Fallout off to his rest of his world. So as we wrap this thing up, quick outros. But first, Fallout, let everybody know where. If they don't know you, please go look up Fallout Plays. You'll find the man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Behind the voice, but yeah, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube.com/FalloutPlays, Twitch.tv/FalloutPlays, and on Twitter @FalloutPlays. And thank you very much for having me, guys.
Oh, absolutely,
man. It's the homie.
Great to have you.
Glad we was able to do it.
Hell
and
yeah.
Like I said, every Destiny card at GCX, you're like one of the first people I always bump into on the field. I'm like, oh, what's up?
It's a yearly tradition.
It's a tradition. So we got
him
here. Huge fan, and by far one of first of all, the Crucible scientists. Let's give you your roses while you're here. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, one of the funniest low key content creators. Like literally, I'll watch that and we'll just bust out laugh. And shout out to your Manscaped, because you're the only one that's making that ads hilarious. Like you try a lane on how to make doing it funny. So yeah, salute to you.
I try.
You know,
Travis.
Yeah,
reviewing this wonderful game, right?
I'm reviewing The Witch Queen, so you can look for my review in progress. I'm going to get it live the Friday after the game comes out, before the weekend, and then I'll do my final review probably the day after the raid. So I'm going to beat it and finish my review and do the video over the weekend probably. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy week. You can go to IGN.com and see a ton of stuff I've created this week, Crossfire X multiplayer and single player reviews.
Oh, don't play those, please.
Don't play those, but you should watch my reviews because they're pretty funny. I said Crossfire X plays like a shooter you would play at Dave and Buster's. I think that's my favorite line from the review.
Not the Dave and Buster's, Joe.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can find me there, and you can follow me on Twitter if you care about that at TyGuyTravis. So
no doubt.
And for me, it's Ebontis, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You guys know it. I'll be playing like all these rest of these amazing people, playing and making content. So I'll be streaming, living on caffeine, but I'm gonna try and meal prep this weekend. So eat healthy food, walk around, get a little bit of sleep in there. Get some good amount of water in you is all I can say. Be healthy if you're going to know life this thing. There's an option there. So as we wrap this thing up, chat, you guys have all been amazing. Thank you, Sir Fallout. I appreciate you taking a little extra time tonight, but thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. For this episode of The Last Word, it has been
The Last
Word.
I was like, is he going to do it or not?
All right.
I'll let y'all do it.
Thank you guys. Have a good one, chat. You guys have a great evening. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Beautiful.